Hello and welcome. So today it is all about an upcoming launch from Initio Parfums Prives. And this one is called Lift Me Up. Now this is like the second fragrance that Initio launches this year and also part of the Hedonist collection, because earlier this year we did have Power Self, which I did already review here on the channel and which you know that I really enjoy. But today, I'm going to be speaking to you about this fragrance that has not been launched yet. This was kindly sent to me by the brand well in advance of the launch date, which happens to be tomorrow, September 1st. Now, this fragrance was done in collaboration with Neiman Marcus, so tomorrow, the launch date, it will be available online and in store at Neiman Marcus. But I'm sure that later on it will be available at other retailers. So today I'm ready to give you a detailed review because I've had the opportunity to really acquaint myself with this fragrance. And in addition to that, of course, you do know that today is the day that I will be announcing the two winners of our 20K giveaway. So let's go ahead and jump right in because we have quite a bit to cover. But if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi and I'm your fragrance concierge because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos multiple times a week, and on this channel, we love to talk about all types of fragrances. So if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So let me start by telling you a little bit about Initio Parfums Prives in case you're not familiar with this fragrance house. So this is a French fragrance house that has been in place since 2015, and they are known for their incredibly beautiful and exquisite unisex fragrances that tend to evoke a certain emotion. They are very much mood altering, or they really evoke a specific emotion whenever you wear them. Within this incredible fragrance house, there are multiple collections. There are 4 collections. And the fragrance that I'm sharing with you today, which is Lift Me Up, is part of the Hedonist collection. Now, the Hedonist collection is very known for such iconic fragrances such as Rehab, Musk Therapy. Earlier in the year, they did launch Power Self and Paragon, and now we have Lift Me Up. But I have to tell you that my all-time favorite from this Hedonist collection has always been Paragon. But at the end of today's video, I will be ranking for you all of the fragrances of this specific collection because I do own them all, and I will be telling you which one is my new #1 favorite, if there's a new one. Now, in addition to the Hedonist collection, there's also the CARNER Blends collection. And that is a collection that, at least in my opinion, is quite intense, not just in the scents themselves, but also in the feelings that they evoke. My favorite fragrance, I do own all of those, also all of the fragrances that are part of the CARNER Blend, but my favorite is Atomic Rose. And Atomic Rose is truly, as the name says it is a rose that is just going to catch you completely by surprise because it is a game changer. It is edgy, it is bold, but it is sexy, it is modern. It is just a completely different rose-centric fragrance. Let us know if you've tried that one. The third collection is the Black Gold Project collection. And here you have iconic fragrances such as Oud for Greatness and Oud for Happiness. Now, these are all fragrances that, of course, have the note of oud, but the oud has been done exquisitely. These are very intense and bold and statement-making fragrances that, at least when I wear them, evoke a feeling of true confidence. My favorite from that collection is definitely Oud for Greatness. Absolutely love that fragrance. The last collection would be the Absolutes collection. And here you have incredibly, exquisitely done blends. These fragrances, at least in me, evoke like a sensuality. They make me feel like alluring, but they also help you connect with like the core of who you are. My favorite from that collection is Absolute Aphrodisiac. And oh my, what an incredibly sexy, sensual, and alluring experience. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the review of Lift Me Up. So Lift Me Up is a fragrance that, as I was saying in the opening, in case you missed it, I have had the opportunity to really become acquainted with the fragrance and what it's about and the feel. So today I'm going to be giving you a detailed review, and of course I'm going to be sharing with you the feel of this fragrance. Now keep in mind that when I provide this review for you, this is based not just on me wearing it on skin, but also testing it on paper. This is a fragrance that I'm going to tell you right now has jumped to the top of my favorites immediately. This is absolutely exceptional. I am truly, deeply in love with this fragrance, and I really recommend that you at least go into a Neiman Marcus or you try to get yourself a sample or a decant. Now let me start by saying that this is a fragrance that has been designed to evoke the feeling of like rising above, shining beyond, and stepping into the light. And I have to tell you that based on my experience, you are going to get those feelings. It really is a truly mood-altering fragrance. And for me, and I will talk in more detail when I talk about the feel of the fragrance, but there is a brightness and a radiance that comes as soon as you apply this fragrance on skin. And as soon as you sniff it, even if you spray it on paper, as soon as you sniff it, you are going to immediately pick that up. This is a fragrance that opens sweet, very citrusy, and I can clearly pick up on the note of bergamot in the opening. There may be other notes here, but they haven't been disclosed, but the one that I do pick up is truly the bergamot. But the opening is kind of fresh. It's not a freshie, but the opening is a little bit fresh. It is sweet, but not very sweet, and it is very citrusy. But almost immediately after that opening, you're going to start to pick up on like a bouquet of white florals. And it is truly a bouquet because it's not just one floral that sticks, that comes to mind, but the one that really takes the lead beyond a shadow of a doubt is the magnolia. I know that they have disclosed other white florals, but the one that I pick up on clearly is the magnolia. As the journey continues and approaching midway in the olfactory journey, the fragrance continues to retain a certain amount of freshness. Again, this is not a freshie, but it does have a certain degree of airiness, I guess I should call it. But at the same time, the scent becomes a tad green. I would not define this as a green fragrance because it's not, but I do pick up on a tad of a green quality to the fragrance, and it has a tad of spiciness. So midway in the olfactory journey, you are going to have a very vanillic scent that has a tad of spiciness, remains fresh, and is a touch green. But at all that, the magnolia continues to be the star of the florals. Now, very interesting, as you approach the dry down, the vanilla that you started to really pick up on like midway in the olfactory journey starts to intensify. And as the vanilla starts to intensify, there's like a touch of a lactonic quality that comes in. I wouldn't say that this is a lactonic fragrance because to me, it is truly not, but there is definitely a touch of a lactonic quality to the fragrance, in addition to that touch of greenness, which comes in approaching mid-olfactory journey and will stay with you throughout the wear of the fragrance. But it's not a touch of greenness that should concern you if you're not into a green fragrance, because that is not what this one is about. So as you approach the dry down, as I said before, the vanilla will intensify. And as it intensifies, not only do you pick up on that tad of a lactonic quality, but it's also like a creaminess. This is a creaminess that I did start to sniff faintly midway in the olfactory journey, but as I approach the dry down, it is very clear to me that there is going to be a creamy dry down, and it is absolutely glorious because it brings like a level of coziness and comfort to the scent. At the dry down, you are going to have a sweet, ambery, a bit warm and like cozy, very vanillic scent on a heavy background of white florals where the magnolia continues to be the star, at least to my nose, and on a backdrop also of a musk. Now the musk is very, very smooth. but it is present because it's like a level 3 musk, where 1 is the least and 5 is the most. I would say that it's like a level 3. But when I tell you that the scent is just absolutely glorious, and like most of the fragrances, if not all, in this collection, it is quite addictive. It is a very, very addictive scent. You are going to spray yourself and just continue to sniff yourself all day long. Now, this is a fragrance that I do consider to be unisex, definitely, but leaning to the feminine side. Not heavy, but it does lean to the feminine side. Can I see a gent wearing this fragrance? Absolutely. Remember my motto, wear what you want, when you want, and how you want. But this is, for me, truly a unisex fragrance that leans a tad to the feminine side. At that, it is very, very versatile, which you know how I love a versatile fragrance, because I can dress it up, I can dress it down. This is perfect for any season of the year. You can wear it during the summer, during the spring, during the fall, during the winter. There are no limitations. And I also will tell you that I think this is perfect for any age. Again, a very versatile fragrance designed to just do one thing, which is to empower you, to make you feel a certain kind of way. And we are going to talk about that in a minute. In addition to that, there is no oud in this fragrance, and it does have musk, as I said before, to the tune of a level 3. So you are going to pick up on the musk, but the musk is not animalic in any kind of way. Now let's talk about the performance, because that is something that has me so impressed. This is a fragrance that when I wear it exceeds well over the 8-hour mark, more like approaching the 10-hour. It doesn't quite make it to 10 hours, but it does approach it. And that's without overspraying or reapplying the fragrance. It does have a very strong projection during a little bit over the 2-hour mark, and it does have a sillage that will get you compliments, because every time, and I wore this about 3 times, every time I wear this fragrance, I do get compliments, and I do get people that stop me to ask me what I'm wearing. I tell you, this scent is so addictive. But let's also talk about the feel of the fragrance, because that is where the magic resides. If I had to define this fragrance briefly, like in 2 or 3 words, to me, this is the aha moment fragrance. Truly the aha moment. You know, that moment where you, in retrospect or just in reflecting, you're like, oh, now I see. Oh, now I understand. That awareness, that awakening, that is the feel of this fragrance. So let me just explain it further. The feel of this fragrance is like, let's say that you've just been going through a period where you haven't really been in the light, right? You've been like under cloudiness, maybe even in the dark. You know, it's just been a period, and you've been confused and, you know, like lacking discernment and awareness. And well, this is the fragrance that evokes the total opposite and pulls you out of that. This is a fragrance that definitely adds an awareness and an awakening. You know, it just makes you reflect, and it makes you feel a certain kind of way, where there's some clarity, there's an awareness, there's an awakening, and it's almost like it grabs a hold of your emotions and pulls you back into the light, a full, radiant, luminous light. That is the feel of this fragrance. And I know that that sounds like, Arahi, seriously, that fragrance does all that? It is a mood-altering fragrance. And I have many Initio fragrances, and they all evoke a certain feel, truly. But there is something about this one that I just can't even explain. That's why I invited you earlier to go get yourself a sample or a decant, if you don't believe me, and sniff it and tell me what you get from the fragrance. To me, like I said before, it is all about the aha moment, where you finally understand, where you finally now are ready to dust yourself off, get up, overcome, and keep on going. That's the feel. That is what you're going to get from this fragrance, that emotional shift, which I'm absolutely here for and I'm absolutely loving. Now, needless to say, this is truly a deep love for me immediately, truly. It wasn't a deep love when I first sprayed it. When I first sprayed it, I knew that I really, really did like it strongly, but it's almost like I had to wear it and experience it. And maybe what happened is that I'm so familiar with Initio Parfums DNA, like their fragrances, that I know that these are fragrances designed for you to have an experience. This is truly about experiencing the scent and understanding what it does for you emotionally, mentally, spiritually as you wear it. And I've had the opportunity to really experience the fragrance and know what it brings to the table, which is what I'm sharing with you today. All right, so before we jump into my ranking all of my fragrances from the Hedonist collection for you and letting you know where the new Lift Me Up lands, I want to go ahead and take a moment to share with you the first giveaway winner. This is the winner that will win the $75 Visa or MasterCard gift card. Good luck, and again, thank you to all of you for being with me on this journey. I can't tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you. Congratulations if you are the winner. Of course, I have another giveaway to announce, which I will do later on in this video, but just be sure to reach out to me on Instagram with your email address and your full name. That is all I need in order to put together and be able, to put everything together and be able to send you your Visa or MasterCard gift card. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the 5 fragrances that are now a part of the Hedonist collection, which of course the 5 includes Lift Me Up, which we've been talking about today. So first of all, I want to make sure that you understand that I am ranking them because I know you are going to ask me. I know that many of you are going to ask me, okay, Arahi, so which one is your favorite? And I did think about ranking my entire Initio Parfums collection, but I thought that it made more sense and to be fair, right? Because each collection brings something different to the table, as I explained to you earlier. So I'm just going to focus on the Hedonist collection, and in the future, in a different video, I'll just probably do a dedicated review of all of those fragrances again, because I haven't done them in a while, and let you know where my ranking stands overall. But today, let's go ahead and start with another release from 2025. And please keep in mind that I am deeply in love with every single one of these 5 fragrances, truly. But since I have to rank them, I'm going to do it. Okay, so we're going to start with Power Self. Now, Power Self is a fragrance that I absolutely love. It was released earlier this year, and for us Initio Parfum lovers, it was kind of like a surprise because it's like a shift from that intensity that we've come to know Initio Parfum scents to have. It's not that it's weak or anything like that. It's just that it's so smooth. It's like a whisper, but a whisper with a lot of personality. It's not faint in any way. It makes its statement, but instead of being bold about it, it empowers you in a different kind of way. It's like a smoothness. It's like a self-awareness empowerment that comes from this fragrance. And I absolutely love it. So this one is at number 5. And I have already reviewed all of these fragrances. There's actually a dedicated review for Power Self. So please be sure to check that out if you need any additional details. Now, coming in at number 4 is a fragrance that it pains me to place it in a number 4 because this is truly like a number 1. It's just that they each bring something different to the table. But hey, at number 4, I have Rehab. Now, Rehab to me is the fragrance that I pull when I want to feel sexy. But this sexy feel is like the temptress. That is what I get from Rehab. This is a sexy feel with like no limits. It like awakens such a deep like desire, like I don't know how to explain it, but if you own Rehab or if you've tried Rehab, I'm sure that you know what I'm talking about. So please let us know in the comment section if you understand what I kind of just tried to explain. But Rehab would be at number 4. Now, coming in at number 3 is a fragrance that when I say that this one landed in number 3, I know there's many fam members that are not going to be happy with me because this one has quite the cult following. And this one is Musk Therapy. Now, Musk Therapy is truly a beautiful, beautiful, heavy musk-based fragrance, but the musk is so smooth. It is really like a very therapeutic feel to this fragrance. On days where you're just feeling a little bit, very like not in ease or at ease at all, this is a fragrance that soothes you. This is a fragrance that really does bring peace to your heart, to your aura, to your spirit. Definitely Musk Therapy. Coming in at number 3. Now, coming in at number 2, and of course from here you'll know which one most likely landed in number 1, but coming in at number 2, it is definitely now Lift Me Up. Lift Me Up has passed all those other fragrances, at least when it comes to me and the feel that it evokes, and just the entire experience has been so fascinating. It was actually quite hard to decide between placing it in the second spot or in the first spot. And of course, in the number 1 spot, we continue to have Paragon. I'm sorry, but this is just, to me, this is just, I can't even. And I did do a side-by-side wear between this one and Lift Me Up because again, it was very hard to put one over the other because I am so right now like obsessed with Lift Me Up, but Paragon still took the throne. Anyway, I hope that was helpful for you, and I have to tell you, that was not very easy for me to do, but I figured that I needed to come and rank them for you. All right, fam. So now, before I close this video, let me go ahead and announce the second giveaway winner. And this one is for the $100 MasterCard or Visa gift card. And remember that these giveaways were open to all fam members around the world. Again, thank you so much for being with me on this journey. I appreciate every single one of you, and I can't tell you how thankful I am to have this fam. Anyway, good luck. All right, so congratulations to the winner. And just like I said before in the first giveaway, if you could please reach out to me via DM on Instagram so that I can get your information and of course issue your gift card as soon as possible. All right, so we have reached the end of today's video, and I hope that this was enjoyable for you. I have to tell you, I am so excited for you. I am looking forward to some of you that are really into Initio Parfum fragrances and that understand what I talked about today, about that emotional connection, about that mood altering magic that the DNA of this fragrance house has. I really want to know what you think about Lift Me Up. If some of you pick it up, it's okay. If others just want to try it, that's okay too. I just really want to know what you think about it. Remember that it will be available September 1st at Neiman Marcus, and there will also be an event on September 12th in Neiman Marcus, Atlanta, for those of you that actually live in the Atlanta area. I will be sure to include all of the details in the description box of this video, and closer to the event date, I will have a post in the community tab of the channel so that you're aware. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for hanging with me today, and I will see you all in the next video.